After the B-52 bombers, the U.S. has now installed 1.1 billion Qatar radar system hit. And in fact, satellite image now show of destruction of the radar system. The gaping hole in roof of a building, which is supposed to be of a radar system, has now been ruined. Planet Labs is now issuing those images, which has confirmed attack on radars. This has crippled Qatar's missile warning system. In fact, Iran strikes U.S. key radar for tracking incoming ballistic missiles. And this is the report that is coming in. This was built using $1.1 billion. And now Qatar faces a big question of not being able to have a radar system which can monitor and perhaps even dispel all the big missiles which are coming from the Iran. In fact, Planet Lab has issued images which confirm attack on the radars. Let me bring in Mayan Hoffman, who's joining us from Jerusalem. Mayan, you know, the debris from the damaged face has fallen on the roof of the main building, and it is becoming clear that this radar system has been thoroughly damaged.
Yes, that's correct. That is what all of the reports are saying. They were able to confirm that damage, and this could cause a lot of challenges for them in order to be able to stop the missile attacks before they actually strike down. This is a big concern, I think, for the region, of course, for Qatar, but I mean, that's where it's holding right now. That's what we know, and we don't know what the next steps are. This could have some impact, obviously, on what will be next for the U.S. But on the other hand, you know, we also know, and I think we've, you know, brought this up, that Iran is running out of its own missiles, its own launchers. And if the U.S. and Israel are correct that they are running out of these weapons, then I believe that you're going to start to see less rockets being fired, and hopefully it will not have such a severe effect. But that is something that we're going to have to see. This is a very expensive system, and it's not something that can be easily replaced.
Yes, but if system is destroyed in Qatar, there are reports coming in of U.S. The military base has been destroyed. The other places are getting destroyed. Is there a sense of panic in the Israeli establishment now?
No, there's no sense of panic here in Israel. In fact, the opposite. We continue to hear words of strength and resilience from our government, from our defense ministry, the IDF, and honestly, the people of Israel as well, who are feeling that there is a real chance toward victory here and towards change in the region. You know, we just had a missile attack within the last, hour and a half, and there were some not a direct hit, but a lot of shrapnel that fell on top of buildings in the Beit Shemesh area, the same area where just 2 days ago there was a direct hit on a synagogue, killing 9 people. So there is tension in the air. People don't feel safe. Even today, I'm seeing more people come out, but most people are still staying close to their bomb shelters and feeling nervous. On the other hand, you have to remember our skies have been closed, and our Ministry of Transportation has said that they're planning to try to open part of the skies even as early as Thursday, meaning tomorrow. What that means is that we're starting to feel that we're going to be able to have planes, which then indicates that there is confidence that their planes will be safe to fly, which means there will be less rockets coming in because they wouldn't allow planes to enter the airspace if they felt, of course, that they could be shot down by a rocket. So what that's saying is that our government is feeling confident that we are winning this war and that it is getting better. I wouldn't call that de-escalation. I wouldn't say that attacks are going to be reduced by Israel in the opposite direction. Overnight, you saw us attack again, not only in Lebanon, not only in Iran, but also in Iraq. So Israel is stepping up attacks. Just yesterday, also, our defense minister said that we had new caches of weapons that we're going to be able to be using by our Air Force against Iranian targets. You're seeing the U.S. use stronger and heavier bombs. So I think you're going to see more escalation against Iran before you see less. But on the other hand, despite the impact that it's having on the U.S. installments in the region, we mentioned Qatar, also Saudi Arabia has been hit pretty hard in Riyadh. And this is concerning, again, more concerning, I think, at this point for the U.S. than for Israel. In Israel, we are not panicking. We believe that our intelligence and our military, specifically our air defense, our Air Force, is going to be able to carry out the attacks that they promised and help to eradicate the ballistic and nuclear missile threats, as well as to help to bring about regime change. Again, regime change, it's important to note, will not come from airstrikes. So it doesn't matter how many leaders Israel assassinates, that will not bring regime change. Regime change will need to come from the bottom up and from the top down. Israel and the US are getting the field ready for regime change, but ultimately the people will need to go back to the streets when it's calmer in Iran and help to bring about that final transition.
All right, Mayan, appreciate your time. We have been
Thank you.
speaking about this Al Ubaid Air Base in Qatar. Let's look at the details. Iran's strike on ANFPS 132 phased array radar at Al Ubaid Air Base in Qatar highlights a growing reality of modern warfare. The radar, worth nearly $1.1 billion, was built to detect, track incoming ballistic missiles thousands of kilometers away. It formed a critical part of the US early warning network in West Asia that has been now destroyed by Iranian missiles. So which essentially means that this radar, which was designed to detect and track incoming ballistic missiles thousands of meters away, it was critical for US early warning network, has now been destroyed. And this system was built to watch the horizon for high altitude missile launches, not for small, slow, low-lying drones. A drone costing a few $1,000s can slip under radar coverage and navigate using GPS. But this destruction of this crucial radar system actually is being seen as a massive hit that has been taken by the US systems, because if a single precise hit can damage the array surface, disrupt calibration, now this missile system, the radar system, has been destroyed. The satellite imagery from Planet Labs is in fact showing a hole in the building roof and debris scattered across the structure, suggesting that the drone targeted the radar's vulnerable housing. And the strike underscores a key shift in the model conflict, which is asymmetric warfare, where low-cost drones can cripple billion-dollar strategic assets. So certainly when it is about having a planned strike, this is what Iranians are doing.